studios, here's Jake Asman.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service at O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day. Let's get to the latest now with Deshaun Watson. There is a report out there that the Miami Dolphins have emerged as the favorites for Deshaun Watson. Let me make this very clear. There is no evidence to suggest any team is going to be trading for Deshaun Watson right now. I live here in Houston. I host on ESPN 97.5 here in Houston during the week from 3 to 7. We have covered Deshaun Watson ad nauseum in this city since his initial trade request, and then since he, of course, went out there and has been now sued 22 different times civilly, has had 10 criminal complaints filed against him, the FBI investigating him, and the Houston Police Department also investigating him. We have covered every angle. And nothing has changed as far as a possible suspension looming, commissioner's exempt list possibly happening. So why now would the Dolphins trade for Deshaun Watson? Someone's got to make sense of that. Why now would the Dolphins trade away a bunch of assets for a quarterback whose future is so undecided? The NFL could suspend him. Based on history, they will suspend him at some point. He could be placed on the exempt list the second there's criminal charges filed. Houston police are still looking into him. I don't get the reports that the Dolphins want him. Unless the Texans are just going to give him away for nothing, there's no way the Miami Dolphins are getting Deshaun Watson. Because the Texans won't give him away for nothing. Charles Robinson of Yahoo is reporting the Texans want 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. What NFL general manager is trading that right now for a player who might not be available for them? Plus, you deal with the baggage of a guy that's accused of doing some terrible things, allegedly. It's not close to happening. There is no indication Deshaun Watson is going to be a Miami Dolphin. Plus, Tua has played pretty well in training camp this summer. Doesn't he deserve a second year before you mortgage the future for a guy who, yes, will face a suspension? The Carolina Panthers picked up Sam Darnold's option, and they traded a second and a 4th-round pick to the Jets to get him. They're not trading for Deshaun. The Eagles just added Gardner Minshew. They're not getting Deshaun. The Broncos are out. The only team that maybe could get Watson, sure, in theory, is the Dolphins right now. But we have no reason to think the Dolphins are going to trade what the Texans want. I mean, look. Any team that acquires Deshaun Watson would want protection on those picks. But then why would the Texans go through with it? If you're the Houston Texans, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever to deal this guy right now. No sense whatsoever. You have had to deal with him asking out. You have had to deal with all the public scrutiny the organization has faced because of that decision. Now you've had to deal with him dealing with all these lawsuits. His value is not what it should be. It's not what it eventually will be. Because ask yourself this, at 25 years old, do you think Deshaun Watson plays in the NFL again? I think most people say yes. Then what's the rush to trade him now? Any team that wants Deshaun Watson now, they might want him again in the offseason. And guess what? There'll be more teams that want him in the offseason. Maybe by 2022, there's more clarity on his legal situation. Maybe then the NFL will hand out a suspension this year, and then next year is good to go. Then a team like the Giants with their 2 first-round picks could get in the mix. The Eagles with potentially 3 first-round picks next offseason could get in the mix. The Dolphins, if Tua stinks this year, could then get in the mix. Denver, if Bridgewater and Drew Lock both stink, they're in the mix. No team's going to give you what you want if you deal him now. And if the Texans are smart, if Nick Caserio is smart, and his time in Houston will come down to how he executes this trade, he's not trading him at this point. It stinks that you probably got to carry him on your team as a healthy scratch. But let's be real. Deshaun Watson, he's not going to get you 3 1s and 2 2s right now, so why are you trading him now? I rather live with the idea of Deshaun Watson just hanging over this team all season, being a distraction, healthy scratch, than deal him for a package that's a bag of peanuts compared to what he's worth. The Texans just did that a year and a half ago when they traded the best wide receiver in football for David Johnson and some used footballs. They cannot get ripped off here. Deshaun Watson is a top 5 player in the league at his position. Signed long-term, 25 years old. I know a lot of Texans fans are tired and ticked off by the ongoing saga, but the Texans' future of getting good again is contingent on nailing this trade. You're going to be bad this year. You're going to be picking at the top of the draft. If you have the first, second, or third pick in the draft on top of maybe getting 3 ones back for Deshaun Watson if you wait to the offseason, you could set up your franchise for long-term success if Nick Caserio does a good job. The idea of allowing fatigue of the Deshaun Watson story to impact whether you deal him for pennies on the dollar now is asinine. If you're the Texans, unless some team's dumb enough to offer you 3 1s and 2 2s, you can't trade this guy till you get the right value. Nick Caserio needs to stand pat.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless